Sup everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're back with another Grandmaster recap. This week's Grandmaster upcoming is the Battleground Psyops on the Cosmodrome. Previous one, which we are recapping, is going to be the Mars Battleground. This was a fun one, I'm not going to lie. If people do need help with Grandmaster clears, especially your first weekly ones, feel free to come by my Twitch channel as I do, well, pretty much free carries for anyone who needs it. If you need a first clear for the week, you will take priority in stream. Otherwise, getting back on topic. This week was the Mars Battleground. I want to break down similar to what I did with Hypernet, the pros, cons, and any problems that I saw from LFG wise that a lot of people were doing. I want to break down this right now. Whether you did cheese or legit, it doesn't really matter. That has no impact on the clears in general. Otherwise, let's get into this. So, in terms of the builds that I saw primarily being used throughout the week, these were the main ones. For Titan, everyone was on Arc, similar to last week, Storm's Keep, Barricade Spam. That was very effective. I didn't see many people on Hazardous, which surprised me because this GM works quite nicely with that build, considering most teams do camp back and take patience. A lot more people were on Curious, but even though it doesn't really matter because I think it was still a valid system. People got the clears, people did really well on that end. In terms of Hunters, I saw a lot more stylish execution of Falcon builds, as well as a few of the Arc Prismatic build that a lot of people have been putting out. I did try that build, as you can see in the gameplay. I want to quote right now, I'm not a Hunter main. I fucking hate using Hunter, so my gameplay here is absolute dog shit. Just putting it out there. I'm not a fan of being a Hunter main. But again, a lot of people used it and pulled it off really well. Saw a lot of good clips and a lot of good runs with some Hunters this week. A lot of them did copy, I think it was Sutek who put it out with the Bastion and Velocity Baton double special comp, which was quite nice to see. A lot of people pulling that off really well. Not as good as him, obviously, but they were still pulling it off. In terms of Warlocks, it was just a mixture of things. A lot of Warlocks just stuck with either well or went on an Arc build, which still was relatively good. A lot of them did get easy clears, which was cool. One that I want to specifically say that stood out to me was GMAGs. A lot of people were using that this week. I thought I would have seen a lot more of them last week, but this week just seemed to have a lot more. Didn't see many Prismatic Warlocks. A few that I did see were just trying to go for a nuke build, which worked nicely due to how this battleground is kind of set. Otherwise, I'm going to go into what I most commonly saw with the problems to finish off this. Alright, so for the main problems that happened during this Grandmaster that I had saw, these are the main problems that I had currently seen. First, a lot of people who did this legit could not take care of the Taken at any current stage. A lot of people were just dying to the Taken zone, and it was a mess. That's all I can really say there. I feel if you're going to do this, make sure you set up correctly. Have at least one person focusing the left, one focusing both left and middle, and one hard focusing middle, where you're going to get hit the hardest with Centurions and Knights. The unstop can be dealt with quite easily. The secondary problem that I found with this as well is going onto the secondary after you do all the towers. A lot of people tend to just not look at what their team's doing. When I say this, I mean in the concept. I was playing Prismatic Titan, nobody would play aggressive, so I was soloing down below while everyone else was camping at top. Yes, this is a hit or a miss sort of thing, and this could be related to a me problem. But if I'm slamming and nuking everything, and the ads are running towards you on the far side and teleporting to me behind me, and resetting the ghost, then you are actually causing more of an issue. Unless you want to stay directly in the middle or behind at the spawn point, you will actually be fine there to cover, as long as you have someone able to nuke shit like what I was doing. This is a hit or miss sort of problem, because again, I was being aggressive as fuck. They didn't want to be, but again, where the ads go, it does cause issues with teleportation and other issues around that area. The third biggest concern that I have is the area where you've got to do the lasers. Teams tend to not actually know how to use a laser. If you tap it, you'll make sure you use less of it. So you use about 37 if you just tap it, to 36, and 26 or to 23 should be always left over if you do it perfectly. 20 otherwise, and you get 2.5 every time. Most teams didn't actually want to kill ads from up top, they wanted to camp there and hide, so the poor soul who went to the right side would normally get killed on their way back. Please kill the ads there, and do not go left, you can always go back right and collect a recharging one, so you are aware. A lot of teams weren't doing that, and that did cause a fair chunk of problems. The final encounter being the boss, this is where the final concerns that I see happen a lot. Teams didn't use cheese, which is good, which is fair, but a lot of teams didn't take care of the witches and didn't take care of the champions in the middle after the boss spawns in. A lot of teams just let the boss kill them and it caused issues, whereas if you kill the knights in the middle, if you kill the witches and the champions, and you actually plan it out, you will have less problems. I did this several times where we just killed and nuked, obviously we suspended, nuked the champions, and then one person would cover and another person would just bank. This is the way you should be doing it, but again, a lot of teams were just, all three ran and did their own thing, and it caused issues. At least one person needs to be guarding that middle area. In terms of good things that I saw, a lot of teams did have good builds and a lot of setups to ad clear and hit hard and fast. I didn't see many teams like lacking in terms of like ad clear and all that sort of shit, firepower. And I think the best thing I could say about this week, a lot of teams did take care of problems like the death songs and champions together more frequently than kind of just going, oh, I'm going to move and do this and you do that. Unlike last week where I felt most of the time teams just didn't have any idea on teamwork. I felt this week a lot more teams worked really well, and a lot of the builds they used did like kind of enhance other builds for other characters. Otherwise, overall, I feel this was a better week than what last week was. A lot more improvement, I think also because a lot of people have done this Nightfall more frequently than Hypernet, it did make a bigger difference. Till then, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Peace out, and like and sub for more content like it.